We have the roll call. The mayor's absent. Her and clerk treasurer Jack Shelton are at an IAC conference. We have Fran Abbott as the clerk treasurer. Roll call, all the city councilmen are present. I need an approval of the minutes.
I move we approve the minutes as submitted.
Knox?
I'll second.
Yeah. Vote for.
Okay. Claims?
Approval of the claims properly signed.
I move we approve all claims properly signed.
Second.
Vote. Okay, new business, Mr. Dorse, you're up.
Thank you. I'm sure you're all familiar with now, but my name is Jeff Doris. I represent Linton Redevelopment, Inc. And we are here tonight to request your approval and endorsement of the second part of the tax abatement process that we requested at the September meeting. The draft resolution was approved at the last meeting. The publications have been published per law requirements. The period of public discussion is drawing to a close. At this time, we respectfully request that the council act on the last part of the process and formally approve the resolution. Are there any questions that have surfaced since our last meeting here that we might be able to address tonight?
I don't have any.
Do you have anything to add?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, then we need a motion to establish an economic revitalization area. We need a
I'll
motion
make the
resolution.
I'll second.
Vote.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We very greatly appreciate your support in our endeavors. It makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, pass this.
Jerry.
This is the one that I'm going to pass around. You need one.
We have department head reports. I think, Tim, you're the only one here.
There's going to be a budget hearing. All it is just a hearing. It's a public one at 4:30 here. It's been advertised.
Look, all right.
It's just for
Yeah.
anybody that, okay, come in.
That's not any of that,
Then we'll pass it
informational.
at 4:30, 21st. That's when they vote. So
Go ahead, Tim, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was waiting for y'all, you know. Just informational parts that I'm trying to get out in the public. There's some information on the Indiana Railroad speed change on the tracks. They've talked with Chris Run from Indiana Railroad, and he's gonna donate some signs or give us some signs if we put them them up. And they specifically say the speed change. And he directed us on where to put the signs, on the location of the signs on each. There's 9 railroad crossings that we've accepted to do some signage off of the railroad right away, which kind of includes a little bit, we're involved in a railroad crossing fund also, and we're getting through NDOT. We're getting some signs through them and some pavement markings, and that's going to be the limit to our involvement on the signage. And they're paying for that, plus they pay for us to put them up also.
NDOT?
Uh-huh. They should have this, I don't know when the signs will be here, hopefully soon, because I'd like to get this out in an informational part for the people in the town about the speeds will be coming up to 40 on through trains. And that's quite a bit difference what they were.
It was 10 miles an hour, isn't it? Now it's 40.
I don't know what it was. On the actual federal registry, it says 20 on some of them and 25 on others. There's a website accessible. I don't have that with me. I probably should have brought that, where you can look at those, and it's all public information. All right.
Which railroad tracks, are you talking about the ones that they're raising the speed on? The ones
Well,
south of town?
he
or all
didn't.
of them?
He didn't say a difference between the two. I think they're both at Indiana Railroad, run east and west, and then the other one coming out of Jasonville.
And is this a follow-up, the same place where they wanted the crossings taken out so they could improve the track and
Yes.
upgrade the speed of the rails ran through there?
Yeah, probably 7, 8, 9 years ago.
So it's just a continuation?
Crossing fund closure, where they closed some of them on 6th Street,
Yeah.
6th Street, or
C?
West C,
They closed some on C some time ago.
yeah.
Did they ever get her, next time you talk to them, you know, see if they ever got her deed for us for C Street, since,
Well, I need some help on that. I found the right people to talk to on that, and I haven't been able to follow through. There's a railroad right-of-way company out of Nashville that deals with that, and I've been dealing with them, and it takes quite a bit of time and money to chase down the information to give to her so she can update her end of it and get to where we need to be with the railroad to get that in our name. That's something we need to follow up on. I can get with you and take care of that.
okay, well, let me know, I just wondered if
Okay.
they, I figured it was in reference to the same project since since they
It is.
upgraded and changed out the track.
It is.
I think that's all part of this, the $6.5 million that Indiana Railroad deal with over at Jasonville, but I think a lot of that was because I know at Bloomfield, they've improved the track crossings and all down through here. So we just want to make everybody aware that
Yeah. that's
40 an
why
hour
I'm-
moving train doesn't stop
That's why I
real
brought
quick.
this up here to help get the information out.
When they start running 40,
November.
November.
They're
I
gonna
heard
start
November
gradually
1, but
speeding up on some trains. Anything else? Any questions?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I don't know if you can answer this or not, it's not that you ever think first. Thanks for coming to every meeting, appreciate the department head. I had some people call me up, and I don't know the answer to this question. When we have a football game, correct me, but the road that runs by the football field, isn't that North Main Street continuation?
What I've looked
According to
into
every
and
map
found
I've
out, I've
seen.
not found any direct information on that.
I was gonna ask Rodney
I'm
because he's school.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's North Main Street.
Right, I
okay?
think you're right.
The problem I have, or the question that people ask me, and I don't know what to tell them is, I understand the school has the fence that runs right by that, which is a city street. And they posted no parking signs there, which would be our city street.
Mhm.
And I guess the question that people were asking me, for instance, when we had homecoming, you know, we had a super huge crowd, it was parked all over the Fifth. They wanna know how the school can put no parking signs up there on our street.
Well, the
So I
school,
guess,
the
and
school
that's my question.
contacted me and asked me about putting signs up there, and I said, why? And they said it was a safety issue because of the parking lot across the street from the fence.
You know, and I understand, Tim, where they own a certain piece of property down the corner, they can post their own property. But on that area, the end of the field, there's several senior citizens that can park there in their vehicles and watch the football games, because they can't walk in, and they've parked there for years and years. I guess my question is, like I say, can the school, and I know it's on their property, but how they can permit no parking if that's our city
The
street?
way we've dealt with parking issues around
I
the
mean, it's
school,
always been, you know, cars
not
parked on both
necessarily
sides of the
this one,
street.
but the way we've in the past, the way we've dealt with all the parking issues around the school, they ask us to designate no parking areas
Right.
even on the south side of the school, east and west road, H Street. When it came to this one, I treated it the same way and asked them why, and they said it was a safety issue. So I didn't dwell much into it, but I'd be glad to get
Well, I
with
mean,
the school.
that's the only question they asked me, because I didn't know an answer.
see.
Because,
I-
they were told it was an alley, and I said, no, it's North Main Street, it's a city street.
I think we could designate some,
But-
for that reason, I think we could designate some parking areas specifically for some handicapped
Handicap.
people. And I think we need to do that, but it needs to be a little bit more than just
Well,
park along the
and
fence.
if people
I think
ask
we
me
need
on
to really
something-
dwell into this.
And what
I
I-
have been studying ADA regulations for the city and the schools.
But I guess, the question that people asked me, I couldn't answer, that they asked, like, no parking on the streets, when we put a no parking sign up, or we change anything, it has to be voted on.
Can't
here.
deny.
You have to, it has to be voted on, making a no parking, what like
It's
that.
just the civil rights.
And my comment was, no, we never ever voted on it.
Yeah.
So that was my question, hop in the school, make it no parking. It just,
Actually, we've never voted before on no parking issues around the school. We
Yes,
can-
yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, because they came to us, remember, when our police department started writing tickets.
On H Street. we
On
did.
H Street.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But
I have a
that was my
comment
question.
I mean,
about that.
I'm okay with anything that we decide
I live
collectively with the school.
right next to the new parking lot. I lived there for 31 years. Cars have been parking there for 31 years. Whether Timberly Freeze is the school bought her house and tore it down and actually, it's better because they have more room to park now. And like I said, I've lived there for 31 years. It was never an issue. There's three people that park there that are elderly, and another person is handicapped.
We can easily make it handicap only.
Yeah.
That is, I don't see a problem with that.
Well, I mean,
Like
I
I said,
drove
I
down-
don't want anyone to get hurt, but
Yeah.
these three people that were parking there, they were not abusing anything, they weren't causing any trouble. One person was there so they could see a family member in the band,
Well,
and now they can't do that.
just to address the problem, is there a home game next week?
I think actually all the home games are over,
Yeah, they're
except for the
Okay.
playoffs. So maybe we can get this
Well, I
figured
even drove
out.
down North Main Street there to the curve and got to the end of it, and they had a barricade across the street. And I had to get out to move, so I could get down the street because I couldn't back up.
Yeah, we have some people that have borrowed some school barricades, or maybe the city, and they kind of use them at their own discretion. I'm not one of them. So anyway,
But that was my question. I just think during sporting activities, something like that, we're trying to get people from Linton, et cetera, and we're running them off places to park.
yeah. And like I said,
I'll check on the Main Street, being that a city street, which
And
we've
maybe
been
there may
taking
not
care
be,
of
but
it.
I'm pretty sure it's North
We
Main.
clear snow there. And actually, the ADA thing is gonna be the next thing I bring to the council for a committee, so we can do our transition plan, which is mandated by the federal highway. I was there Thursday at NDOT with Federal Highway. And we're starting our transition plan by December of '12, we have to be showing our plan and our progress in that, going in
Is
the right
that what you
direction.
was talking to me about?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanks, Tim.
so we need a committee, actually, so this is another piece of information.
let's appoint someone tonight.
I'd say Tony and Miss Bedwell will be the first two, so we'll go from there.
And I do
You guys will
appreciate you
accept
coming
that?
to every meeting.
Lease, can we go on?
Sure.
Okay. Lease schedule will be put in the paper. And with that said, the informational part is I'd like to have a little website. I've talked with Fred Markle for city information. And this is part of the ADA transition plan, that we can start one and use it for everybody to access that. And get information on the different departments. And we'll get each department head to get their own information in there.
I don't know, but could we use the Greene County Daily World? I know.
Oh, yeah, we always do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
When are you planning on starting this commission you're talking about?
On
Pardon?
the what?
This committee, when are you planning on starting it?
It's good. We have to have a committee done by December. of this
By
year.
December?
Yeah,
Can I make a suggestion?
sure,
Mr. Wolf's gonna be the mayor, why not
sure.
ask him to be on it also?
There's to be a coordinator also. We'll work through all this. This just all brought to me here last week, so it's all new. We're trying to work through it and meet the federal highway guidelines. We're not the only town in this situation. It's gonna happen.
Got anything else?
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
mean,
it.
look, nothing you wanna talk about tonight. Thank you.
Oh, you don't know. Thanks for doing that, Tim. I was hoping Troy Geralds would be here so we could discuss Halloween
Yeah.
times and what's going on with that, but
I've talked to him about that, and a lot of people have requested that they have it the night before, on the 30th, on Sunday, due to the fact that the parade and everything is on Monday, and that only gives them, some don't want it on Sunday, but if you go out there to things, then that just kind of eliminates a lot of the trick-or-treaters, and so I think they're considering it. The parade and the fish fry and everything else is the 31st. There's a pet dress-up for on the 27th, I think, of October.
I'm sure Troy will get with the newspaper and
Yeah.
put an article in the paper. Mr. Shump, do you have anything for the city?
Actually, on the issue, originally on the agenda, since we hadn't mentioned it yet, there was some stuff scheduled with Glenburn, and due to a property transfer issue and other things that may arise, Mr. Abshire is going to get with us next month on that after he reviews it further. But other than that, would be the only thing that I'd have.
Did he say, Tim, it's property transfer? Is he
The-
coming to the next one, or?
He's going to try and get to the next meeting because there's an issue as to what to do with the park property. We vacated some property, and then they're going to rededicate property to us, but there's an
Okay.
issue on how to best do it, to get it into, because there's an issue with how it's platted, and whether, because they're not really wanting to rededicate their entire plat, there's no need for that. So I think he's trying to find a way to avoid all the stuff about rededicating a plat and all these other, because the statute doesn't really fit, because we're not really doing anything in the statute, but it calls for extra things that we don't think is necessary. So he's trying to find a way to get around having to rededicate the plat and change all that to the recorder's office.
Okay.
So he'll be here hopefully next month with how to resolve the issue. And other than that, no.
Anyone else have anything? We have a budget hearing here this Wednesday, October 12th at 4:30.
And it's just a public hearing, that's all it is, anybody to come in to think. You have to be here, but there'll be no vote
I
or
won't be
anything,
here.
it's just a matter of being here
I'll be
and
in
having to do it.
And then we have the budget passing Friday the 21st at 4:30. Okay. Anyone, we have anything else? Again, Tim, I'd like to thank you for coming. One of the department heads that come. Appreciate that. Anyone, anything from the council?
I have nothing.
Mr. Richard, do you have
Nope,
anything
thank you.
else?
I make the motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.